Hey, what's good, fam? Welcome back to Hoops Talk Central, your home for all things WNBA. Now listen, if you've been keeping an eye on free agency drama, then you already know things are getting wild out here. And speaking of wild, we've got to talk about Jewell Loyd and the Chicago Sky. Yep, according to the reporting from Annie Costabile, Jewell said, "Nah, I'm good to the idea of playing for our hometown team." Crazy, right? But hold up, here's the kicker. She's already got her eyes on another squad, and I'll tell y'all who that is later in the video. So make sure you stick around because you're not gonna wanna miss it. Oh, and while you're here, do your boy a solid and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help me hit my goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the month. Let's make it happen, y'all. Alright, so let's get into it. Jewell Loyd, the Gold Mamba herself, requested a trade out of Seattle last month. Now, when the news first broke, everybody and their mama thought, oh, this is it, she's going back home to Chicago. I mean, it made sense, right? Lincolnwood native, grew up in the area, and let's be real, the Sky could use a superstar like Jewell right now. But according to Annie Costabile's latest report in the Chicago Sun-Times, those talks have cooled all the way down. Like Arctic tundra levels of cold. Seriously, we're talking ice caps. Apparently, Jewell ain't feeling the Sky's vibe, and honestly, I can't blame her. The Sky's front office has a lot going on. New coach, young roster, and let's not forget they're still a year away from having a permanent practice facility. That's like trying to sell someone a house with no roof and saying, it'll be nice eventually. Nah, fam, Jewell's looking for something a little more solid. And let's keep it real, the Sky's pitch is basically like, we're rebuilding, but trust the process. Jewell's not about that life. She's been in the league long enough to know what she wants, and it's not another waiting game. Can you imagine telling someone as competitive as Jewell, hey, give us a couple of years and maybe we'll be contenders again? Yeah, that's not flying. She's trying to win now, and Chicago's just not ready to offer that level of security or success yet. So let's break this down. Jewell's made it clear that this next chapter in her career is about more than just basketball. In her own words, she's looking for peace and freedom. And while coming home sounds nice on paper, the reality is the Sky just aren't in a position to give her what she's looking for. Think about it. Would you leave one team that's in rebuild mode just to join another team that's kinda in rebuild mode? Nah, fam. Jewell's trying to win, and Chicago's got a long way to go before they're back in championship contention. Plus, let's be honest, the Sky's front office hasn't exactly been giving stability lately. Between the coaching changes and roster shakeups, it's a lot for any player to deal with. Alright, now here's where it gets juicy. According to Annie's report, the Las Vegas Aces are looking like the most logical destination for Jewell Loyd. Yeah, you heard that right. The two-time champs might be adding the Gold Mamba to their roster. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. The Aces aren't just any team. They're a squad loaded with talent. And adding Jewell to the mix could push them from dominant to downright untouchable. The Aces need a replacement for Kelsey Plum, who's been cored by the team. If you're not familiar with what cored means, it's basically like putting a franchise tag on a player. It means Plum's rights are locked in with Vegas, and if she wants to leave, it'd have to involve a sign and trade. Now, let's talk about Plum for a second. She's been one of the most dynamic guards in the league, known for her sharp shooting and ability to make plays under pressure. There have also been rumors floating around that Kelsey wants a fresh start on a new team, and that's only adding fuel to the fire when it comes to trade talks. Losing someone like Plum isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about replacing an energy and impact that shifts the momentum of games. Plum's leadership on and off the court has been a cornerstone for the Aces, so you know they're going to be careful about who they bring in to fill that void. Enter Jewell Loyd. Now, imagine a multi-team trade that sends Loyd to Vegas. The two-time champs get stronger, and the league just gets scarier. Loyd's skill set matches perfectly with what the Aces need. She's an elite scorer, a lockdown defender, and a player who thrives in clutch moments. And let me tell you, that would be scary with a capital S. Imagine Loyd running the floor alongside Asia Wilson and Jackie Young. We're talking championship dynasty vibes here. That's not even fair, bro. Somebody call Kathy Engelbert and get her on the phone because the league might need to step in. Oh, and don't sleep on Chelsea Gray either. Although Chelsea has shown signs of declining, adding a player like Jewell who can get her own bucket can help take some pressure off Chelsea having to score as much. This means she can just focus on being the incredible facilitator she is. If Jewell joins the squad, the backcourt becomes a highlight reel waiting to happen. It'd be like watching an all-star game every single night. Can you imagine the pick and roll game between Loyd and Wilson? The spacing, the open looks from deep. It's the kind of basketball that's just seamless and exciting to watch. You've got elite talent working together, creating plays that leave fans on the edge of their seats. Adding Jewell Loyd to this roster would make the Aces a team that can execute at the highest level. But it's not about just stacking players, it's about building chemistry and playing smart. But I still think even if Jewell makes the move to Vegas, the Aces might still be another move away from being true title contenders. Don't get me wrong, they'll be scary good, but in my opinion, they still need a big to go alongside A'ja Wilson, a player who can dominate in the paint and take some of that pressure off her. If they do that, now they really got something to go up against the Liberty or the Lynx. Those teams are stacked, and the Aces will need all the firepower they can get to stay on top. But let's take a step back and talk about where Jewell's head is at right now. She's been hooping in this new 3-on-3 league, unrivaled, and from the sounds of it, she's in a great space mentally. In an interview with the Sun-Times, she talked about how this next phase of her life is all about finding herself and staying true to who she is. She's not just thinking about basketball, she's thinking about her peace, her happiness, and setting herself up for success on and off the court. That's some real self-awareness right there. It's not every day you see athletes talk about their mental and emotional health so openly, and it's honestly refreshing to hear. She's also been spending time with her friends and teammates like Breanna Stewart, who's been a solid source of support for her. That's huge because sometimes your circle can make or break your vibe. Jewell's been talking about focusing on things beyond the game, whether it's personal growth, family, or just finding that balance between her career and her well-being. And let's not forget, she's been killing it on the court in Unrivaled. If you've seen her highlights, you know she's still got that fire in her. She's showing everyone that she's not just transitioning, she's thriving, and you've got to respect that. At the end of the day, these players are human beings. They're not just stats and highlight reels. They have dreams, struggles, and goals just like the rest of us. Jewell's doing what's best for her, and if Vegas is where she feels like she can be free and happy, both on and off the court, then hey, I'm rooting for her to make that move. Whether it's chasing championships or chasing peace, Jewell's putting herself first, and honestly, that's something we could all learn from. So there you have it, y'all. Jewell Loyd to the Chicago Sky, not happening. Jewell Loyd to the Las Vegas Aces. It's looking like a real possibility, but let's not stop there. This isn't just about one player and one team. What does this mean for the league as a whole? A move like this could completely shake up the balance of power in the WNBA. Imagine the ripple effects if Jewell lands in Vegas. How would teams like the Liberty or the Lynx respond? Would other teams look to stack their rosters to compete with what could easily become the next big powerhouse? Teams like the Liberty and the Lynx are already loaded, so you know they'd be watching closely, ready to make moves of their own. The arms race in the WNBA could get even more intense, but what do y'all think? Should Jewell head to Vegas, or is there another team that would be a better fit for her? And hey, let's not forget about Seattle. What do the Storm do next if they lose their franchise player? The possibilities are endless, and I want to hear all your wild takes and trade scenarios. Drop them in the comments below because I'm dying to hear your takes, and maybe, just maybe, we'll dive into some of the best ones in a future video. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. Let's hit that 500 subscriber milestone together, fam! I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace!